Minasan, konnichiwa. Nico here from the Road to Japan podcast and a brand new channel on YouTube. And I am here to talk about something that I mentioned on the last episode. But, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a sec. I learned a couple tricks since doing my last video episode, and I want to show you a little trick here. Are you ready? Check this out. Pretty cool, huh? So anyway, as I'm mentioning here, as you can see on the main screen, I have a little case here, and what it is what I have mentioned, as I said, mentioned in the last episode, is called a Hanko, and this is something that is used. I don't know if it's used fairly regularly in Japan, but as far as I know, it is still at least a minor necessity when, especially when foreigners, like myself, would eventually be going to Japan. And I watch videos on YouTube of other foreigners that have traveled to Japan. They live there, whatever the case may be. And one of the things, like one of the hardships that they always come across almost immediately is the fact that they need a Hanko like right away. The reason for this is because a Hanko is used a lot of times in place of a signature. Now, that's not to say that you can't use a signature. It just will depend on, I guess, who you are opening the account with. Because a lot of times it has to do with usually big contracts like mortgages, bank accounts. Sometimes even what could be considered minor things like receiving a parcel from a delivery man. Sometimes they require or would prefer that they get a Hanko stamp. So after seeing several videos talking about this, I decided to be a little proactive and wanted to get my own Hanko, so that when the day comes that I fly into probably Narita Airport in Tokyo, that I'll be ready to go and I'll just have to register my Hanko. Now, there are several types of Hankos that you can get. They vary in style and even the font that you can get the kanji or kana stylized in, and they come in a variety of well, not a variety. It's usually either going to be a square one or a round one. And they also come in various sizes. And if you're in Japan, you can typically get these for fairly cheap. You can get them for anywhere from like 1 to 200 yen, which is usually in the range of maybe like $1 to $2. Or they can, for the really, really, really nice ones, you can spend upwards of maybe even like, 2 to 5,000 yen, which can get up into the highest of that would be maybe in like the $40 to $60 range. But we're talking like those are the really, really nice ones. So, what I have here, as you can see, is, the Hanko that I purchased, and I'm just gonna basically talk about my experience purchasing my Hanko, including talking about the order that I processed and all that, and tell you where you also can get your own Hanko if you're one of those people that's planning on traveling to Japan sometime soon. You might be asking like what can go on a Hanko. Well, there seem to be different variations as to what you can put on your Hanko. A lot of times, if you're in that kind of in a pinch situation, then a lot of times you might just select. You could select like a kanji that represents you, I guess. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure how it works, because obviously I haven't, been to Japan to need a Hanko or anything like that. So You know, I don't know exactly how it works, but from my understanding is that's one route that you can take. Other routes can be you can get your name changed into switched into katakana, which is used a lot for foreign type words. So a generic example would be like the last name of Smith would be translated to Sumisu, and so you would just get those 3 katakana put on your Hanko, and then that would represent your name. For me, for this Hanko that I have here, I decided that because my name is Japanese, and listen to episode 6 if you want to know why it's Japanese and you're looking at a white guy. But I have a Japanese name, so that's actually what you're seeing on the sheet of paper here. And this is what I decided to go with in selecting my Hanko. Now, at this point, I want to mention where I went to get my Hanko done. And actually, if you simply Google Hanko stamp, this is the first website that will pop up, at least for the time being. I don't know if that might change in the future, but it's a website called Jun's Gifts, and you know, I spoke with them. I don't know if this is ran by one person, but I believe I spoke with the head of the website, who was named Junya. And what was awesome about this experience is that they worked with me throughout the whole entire process. Anytime I had a question regarding my Hanko, I explained my situation. Obviously, that I'm, you know, a Caucasian guy with a Japanese name. So is there a way I can get Japanese kanji for my Hanko? And they were more than willing to help me out and allow me to get the proper customized Hanko that you see in front of you right here. So as I mentioned, Hankos come in varieties of shapes, lengths, sizes, and also different types of material, I should say. Probably the most common and I guess traditional would be maybe a wooden one. But you know, we're in the modern age, so there's a lot of plastic ones being made, and that's the one I went with, which was the cheapest of the options. But I mean, I'm very satisfied with how it turned out. Now, what you're looking at here is obviously the case that my Hanko comes in. The case is bought separately, but you can get all of these things, you know, when you make your initial purchase. It would probably be recommended, especially if you're going to be someone like me and not necessarily using your Hanko a lot until, you know, you're in Japan, because I can't imagine a lot of uses that it would have, you know, here stateside. But I don't know, maybe we can figure something out. But it would be best to get a case for it, just to, you know, prevent damage and things like that. And also because this case, well, I guess I'll crack it open at this point. So this is the Hanko itself. I'm trying to position it so you can see it well in the camera. So the Hanko is here. That's what this black cylinder is, and next to it is the ink pad. Because it works basically like a stamp, you have a little red ink pad. Excuse me, I don't know if the colors can change as far as the color of the ink. This is just what came with the case that I ordered. And the Hanko itself is just, it basically looks kind of like a tube of lipstick. And then here is the business end of it. It looks a little grimy because I have used it already. Unfortunately, I wish I hadn't for the purposes of this video, because actually when I originally got it, the kanji and the outline along the edge was this nice perfect red color, so you know, it stood out very, very prominently against the back, or against the black, I should say. But then I used it just to try it out, and I got obviously ink all over the place, and then I tried to clean it off, and you know, this is basically how it looks. So I'm going to hold it up to the the camera here, wait for that to focus. Good. So there's the Hanko. There's the actual stamp itself. Trying to kind of get it at an angle so that the light catches it nicely. And what you're seeing is basically my name translated into kanji. One thing to note is that, and I don't know if this applies to every Hanko, but at least on mine, it has this notch here. And that notch indicates the top, so that when you go to do your stamp, you stamp it down, and you know that if your notch is right here, that this is the top, so the kanji will actually read correctly when you do the stamp. So the cost for this, even with a customized stamp, was roughly, I want to say this, I mean, this is a plastic one, and this the size is 15 millimeters, which is on the larger end, and that's typically because the Hankos that have multiple kanji, like in my case it has 4 kanji, need a little bit more room, especially since you saw the more complicated kanji here with my last name. And I just decided to show this here, as far as the kind of like what my name translates to in kanji. So Nico is it's the kanji for day and light, which essentially means like sunlight or sunshine, perhaps. And Kusanagi is, at least based on my research, it's kind of a name in say like folklore. It was a sword. It was a sword that I believe like deities used in these folk tales. And loosely translated, it translates to grass sword. But I put the Chinese meaning here of this end kanji here to represent shave. That's what it translates from Chinese. And that's only because I use Google Translate, so who knows how accurate it actually was, but this is what it gave the option for when I tried to translate it from Japanese, is that it only had the Chinese meaning. So anyway, and you can read this here. This was, as it says from Wikipedia, it's just kind of a quick little blurb about Kusanagi, because I thought it was interesting. And so yeah, so moving along here. So as I said, the Hanko was roughly like, I'm gonna actually break out my purchase order here. So please be patient as I am taking a look here. So okay, so the Hanko stamp itself was $17. So this is, as I said, the plastic version, 15 millimeter. I don't think the charges apply to the actual kanji itself. I don't think that matters. I think the price only applies to the size and material type. I might be wrong on that, but as I said, the great thing about working with Jun's Gifts is that they will answer any questions that you may have in regards to that. But my presumption is that it's just based on the material and the size. Now, as I said, they also do wood and plastic, as you can see here, but they also have like some really high-end ones. Most notably, I think, was like buffalo horn or something like that. I honestly don't remember. I should have looked that up before I did this video. But yeah, it's like a part of an animal, and then it's shaped into a Hanko. But what's really nice about those is that they have this really nice design on them. I think it's like like a dragon or something, but it's a very high-end one, and obviously that's gonna cost a bit more money. But I mean, for the purposes of what I'll be using my Hanko for, I think I'm perfectly happy with the Hanko that I have. And if for some reason I need to get another one, then maybe I might look into a higher end one later. But this is a perfectly fine Hanko. And as I said, the case itself is separate. It's just a simple plastic case, nothing fancy. And it already comes, you know, with obviously the ink pad built in, and that was just an extra $7. Now the thing that might throw some people off here is that because this is getting made and shipped from Japan, this actually is from Saitama in I believe Saitama Prefecture, which is in the like Tokyo area. But anyways, because of that, the shipping was probably another $16-17. So in total, I think I paid just under $40 for everything that you see here. But like I said, this is intended to be more of a preventative measure to ensure that when I get to Japan, I can just say, oh, I already have a Hanko, you know, so we can skip that step. And I did research, like, you know, what to do, or how Hankos are used, and, you know, the various types of Hankos, the various types of documents that they're used for. And actually, I came across this website that had a very lengthy explanation, and I can't say anything to, you know, how accurate it is. It looked pretty legit to me. But I'll put a link in the description for this video, and you can take a look for yourself. I mean, it goes over all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I think that's pretty much gonna be it. Again, go to jungifts.com. I'll try and put a link somewhere, either on the video or definitely in the description. And as I said, working with Junya, you know, you can ask all your questions and they will be more than happy to get those answered for you, so that you get the Hanko that you're interested in getting. So anyway, I think that's gonna do it. So you can check out this video and all others, including old podcast episodes, at theroadtojapan.com/YouTube, or you can just search for The Road to Japan on YouTube itself, and you can find all the videos there. So until next time, minasan, ganbatte.